Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again. Hold on.
Yep, I know you do it on purpose.
And there we are. Hey, all y'all.
Hello.
Oh, let's see. Well, hell, we already got a ton of people in here. Hey, everybody. Thank you to the mods for being here. Wow, there's a bunch of people. I see all y'all, but I ain't gonna take 30 minutes to name everybody. But thank you for joining us. Squirrel will not be here today. At least that's what she said. In fact, just so y'all know, her exact wording to me was, and we had this conversation, didn't we, Greg, yesterday about like, well, we'll just do a show. You know, we don't really have a subject. But anyway, she said, I'm not going to do the show, but I will make the thumbnail for you. And I said, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I just don't want to spend half the day getting cleaned up. And by the time we go get done, the whole day is gone. And then she said, I've been busy. Something is killing my chicken. I have a lot to do today. Plus, if I'm on there with y'all efforts, that's less foraging I'm doing. And I've got to make hay while it's time. So
well, just tell her to prop the gun up next to the door, and if something runs towards the chicken coop, she can kill it.
Exactly. She's out foraging. Is what she's doing. I told her we've been replaced by weeds. She don't care. She don't care.
I caught a fox in the driveway last night when my girlfriend and I got back from dinner, and I was gonna blast him, but he disappeared behind the shed before I could get a hold of anything.
I sent her a message just now, and I said, so you're bailing on us today? She said, yep, I got crap to do. And then sent a picture of their tractor.
Oh, Lord.
And then I told her, I said, so you're bailing? Yeah, sorry. And then I told her, I said, let's see. I said, so I gotta handle Spencer alone. I'm waiting on her to reply.
If we see her in chat, we'll give her hell.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
She just sat back. She said, I got faith in you. You got this. So I don't know.
Well, you handled, you and Roger took on the world yesterday, didn't you?
We did. I went to Tennessee. About a little over 3 hour drive. It was about 100 and nearly 60 miles. Yeah, I went up there to the Tennessee Wildman conference they were having.
Where was it at?
It was at McMinnville, Tennessee, which was kind of north, I guess, northeast of Nashville. I think it's about 70 miles from Nashville.
Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't a long way, but I think for Roger it was a little over 2 hour drive from where he lives.
Right.
So, yeah, there was several people there. It wasn't just over, crowded elbow to elbow or anything, but and we didn't get there. We got there about noon. Roger got there like 8 o'clock yesterday. There's Mr. Pass.
Hey, for everybody in chat, Cowboy said he might possibly make the meet and greet. Y'all get on him and make sure that he feels incentivized to come.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to come to that anyway. Yeah. But there was a lot of people. I mean, that they had quite a pretty good pile of vendors selling all kind of stuff. I mean, y'all, one of the coolest things that was there, and like an idiot, I didn't even get a picture of them. There was a guy and a girl there that was they did like pottery stuff, lot of just clay. And that guy and girl had coffee mugs. They had bowls and all kind of stuff that they had hand molded and sculptured and glazed and fired them and all that. But they had some dadgum coffee mugs they were big coffee mugs. And then they had some that like were real tall, looked like a beer stein.
I love those kind of mugs.
Dude, you don't know. I had to keep walking away, and I'd go back down and look at them. But this girl had made those things, and they were awesome. And she had them all kind of cryptid stuff, but she had some with like a Bigfoot on them. Had them with like Dogman, had like UFOs and aliens, and it wasn't just like smooth. It was like she made the mug and then made the Bigfoot, and it was like it was protruding. It was like it was the body was sticking up. Man, and she had colored them like with the glazing, and the Bigfoot would be like a reddish brown. The mug would be like a gray and a green and stuff. Man, they were gorgeous. I mean, I saw them. I was like, I got to have me one of those. And I walked over and looked, and I said, what's your pricing on these? She said, well, there's a tag down in the bottom. And I had one of the big beer steins, and I leaned her over, and it said 145. And I like gently put it back.
Greg, Black Kaiser, Black Kazir. My wife and I met Greg in McMinnville yesterday. Great conversation. Y'all met Greg and Roger with nobody else there to like contain what they were talking about, and y'all had great conversations and a good time. I'm glad he was impressive and didn't let us down.
Hey, look here, I was just being me. That's what I told him. I told him yesterday. I said, y'all come check us out. Jump on there tomorrow.
Roger, said, where are you? You want to get on here?
No doubt, Roger. Come on.
I'll send you a link.
But
y'all keep talking.
Yeah, they were one of a couple that I talked to that super nice folks, and just they talked to us for a pretty long time, and then I talked to them outside, and I told them about our Facebook page and told them about our meet and greet that's upcoming. Talked about the one we had at LBL. Told them, I said, look, nothing else. Y'all check us out. Jump in the live chat. I said, these people are more than just people that chat. I mean, everybody has got to know everybody. And, we check on each other, and somebody's down and out. We bring them up and ask for prayer for people. And
hey,
just a family.
Speaking of prayer for people, Gary Spikes, how you doing, brother? Everybody wants an update on you. Type something in and let us know what's going on. And Bobby, are you doing good now? Everything good? Look, I tell Gary to give us all an update, and he comments, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.
Yeah, you know how Gary is. He's always worried about somebody but himself.
Oh, shit. There's Roger.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Man, I just got through mowing. It's hot.
Did you get warm?
A little bit. Ain't too bad.
You didn't have to wear a jacket or anything?
No. I didn't go to church today, and I got up, cooked a little breakfast, and then went and took a little nap, and Heather stole my car, so I don't have all my equipment. It's all in the trunk.
No, man.
What y'all doing? I can't even see with these glasses on. There you go.
You got glasses.
Nothing.
We're
winging a show. Roger, how was the Tennessee Wildman thing?
It was. I probably had more fun at that one than I did any others because we had people coming up to us, and there were a lot of vendors there and a lot of different items, and there were people that had experiences that were coming up and sharing, and I heard some pretty wild stuff, but it kind of tied into some stuff that had happened to some of us. And what was funny was they were like, you had an experience, an encounter or whatever, and they yeah, it wasn't too much of one. And then by the time they're done telling you the story, you're scared, It's like, if I'd have been in that situation, my ass would have been running. But
half the people that think that their encounters are nothing are really pretty impressive, and you can get a lot from it. That's what I hate it that everybody gets attracted to the stories that are like super sensational, and they look over the smaller stuff because they miss out on a lot of details. But
yeah,
those are the kind of stories I get. People think that it's not important, and it's a lot more important than it sounds.
Look at her. See, we ain't even been on here 10 minutes, and you're already in the chat. Get your ass on here or get out of chat.
I'm telling you, man.
And I want to give a shout out to Jeff. I told him on one of the comments on YouTube that cool looking table thing we had.
Right.
I bought that with his donation. So
My
that's all
late night
Jeff
donation.
Right there. He got drunk one night, I think, and gave.
Hey, Sharon.
But yeah, it went to the show, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, Roger was there looking all professional. I was just wandering around through the crowd.
It surprised me. I mean,
it was a good investment.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a chance to tell about our little channel or whatever, and I'm gonna look. If you don't like us, there's others like Woodwalkers and they, Mark and Larry's, and I would tell them it may lead you to one you really like. So, and then
wait, hold on. You told them about your channel, and you said if you don't like us, go check out these other people like Mark and Larry and Woodwalkers.
Woodwalkers, yeah.
So if they don't like you, you thought sending them our way was going to be a good thing.
Well, I mean,
he was giving them options.
Yeah, I was giving them options.
Slinging options.
Yeah. And
hey, Moggs.
And I can't see chat, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm scared to touch the phone. It might cut off. But yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun, and I can barely talk. I ran my mouth, and I listened a lot too. So, but Greg told some of his story. He got in every time. There's one he tells, where they had the guy come along. I'm sitting there thinking every time he tells it, I put myself in their place, and I'm like, oh my God, being that close to him. This one guy said, yeah, this guy right here had some issues. He's, I accidentally made peace with him. He's like, what? and they were everybody just listening, because a lot of them go and they're interested, or they had a little bit happen or whatever. And then I think they're surprised when they talk to some of us, like, wait, what? You found footprints, you got stuff on. I said, there's a lot of evidence out there. It's scattered so far. And I had it was either a newspaper or a magazine came up and interviewed me for about 30 minutes. They're supposed to, I don't know which one it was. I don't know who it is. And they may make fun of me. I don't know. I don't care, but
it was Playgirl, the cryptid issue.
Yeah.
You may end up becoming like Greg, where everybody in your neck of the woods knows about you and just starts feeding you information, which I would love it if that happened to me.
Yeah.
But
that's been happening, y'all. I mean, it's
I'm hoping that happens down over here, but I don't know how long that's going to take.
Friday at work, I'm busy and I'm doing my thing. These people come in. There's a girl, she's about 30, 35, I guess. And she kept looking over at me. And I'm like, what is she? I don't have anything to do with him. What is she doing? I looked up and I said, hey, how you doing? She leaned over. She said, are you the Bigfoot guy? And I'm like, I guess I am. So she was telling me about it. She started telling me about her husband is interested in it, and that they are, and they have a place. I hear the Mopar pulling up. I'm going to be in trouble, y'all. I didn't go to church. She's going to be mad.
She can't be mad as long as you stay on here with us. Hi, honey.
Mama?
Hi, honey.
Let me go walk out on the porch. She may come in kicking and cussing, and
he's got to calm her down before she comes in.
Yeah. Hold on.
Tell her we're all watching. Said hi.
Right.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, they said they're watching. Don't come in kicking and cussing. I'm on with Woodwalkers. Come
Y'all
on.
check out Roger's bad ride he's got sitting out there in the
Oh,
yard.
That's nice.
That's Heather's.
Yeah.
Huh? Hey, Greg, tell them what. So we're coming back home. Greg goes a different way, and we're coming down this road and cornfields everywhere. And Greg's truck pops out of the random cornfield and almost hits us.
we
20
come
minutes
over,
after we leave
come
it,
over a
man.
rise going about 3 times the speed of sound, and it's like a T intersection. I nail the brakes, and the car goes by, and we pull out, and I get a phone call. Roger's like, "Is that you about T-boned us?" I was like, "We wasn't really going to slide through the intersection, but I mean, it wasn't that horrible." Which my truck, the color of it and what it is, there's not many of them out there. It kind of stands out. So, but
Heather said, "Is that Greg?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Greg."
Yep.
But coming back, y'all, we're going down, and these roads are out there around farm fields, and it's little old country roads. They're good roads, but I mean, part of the time you're following your own tail lights because they're just like this. And y'all, I got this moron comes up behind me in this little old pickup, and he's like pushing me. Well, Roger's in front of me in that car y'all just saw. And next thing I know, we go in a curve, and this moron passes me.
You need higher
Roger.
standards.
And I look back, and there's 2 more of those Dodge RTs, like right on me. And I don't know if they were all together or what. But we go around, and look, we hit a straightaway, and Roger's in that car of his. And this moron in this truck whips out to pass him. Well, they're meeting another vehicle. And this idiot just doubles down on stupid, and he just keeps plowing, trying to get around Roger. I was like, well, Roger's about to die and take Heather with him.
Hey, did you ever see my brake lights?
Man, no. You didn't give up on it.
I know if you're gonna do it, you commit to it, buddy. You're gonna have to go.
I was waiting on you to nail it and just run off and leave and make him get back.
I wouldn't do him like that. Hey, those people in the Challengers are pretty cool. They followed us pretty good ways, and I've turned off and they blew the horn. They were, I don't think they were with him, but
those 2 challengers that wound up, they passed me and got between me and Roger. Man, they were nice. I'm talking about
sweet.
nice. There they was going down the road. It was 3 challengers. It looked like they was going to a car show or something.
Go to meet and greet somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was and the thing was, an idiot like that, and those guys, that were following so close. Me and Greg, we were just easing down through there and because it was beautiful scenery. But when you got people like that, they ruin it for you because you got to, pay attention to what's going on. But anyway, it was funny because we left 20 minutes and then we meet up. I don't know where Siri took him, but I went one way and he came out in the same spot. So
yeah,
it was surprising. But Greg, what did y'all think? I mean, when y'all got there, I think the speakers had started, and the gymnasium was full for a couple of hours, and then once they started speaking, people started going in. If they found one they didn't, that was kind of boring to them, they'd come back out. But I think it was a pretty good success because they sold out of tickets actually.
Hey, Miss B.
Yeah, I wondered how many people total, showed up. I mean, it was a pretty good crowd. I mean, it was a lot more people there than what was at Anniston.
Well, and I know my table was free, and I assumed that the guys across from us there that were speaking were free, but the other tables you saw were $50 a piece.
Yeah.
So and I know y'all, it ain't all about money or whatever, but it's people are not going to do stuff like that if they're not making a little bit, right? So yeah,
there ain't no complaint on somebody making money. Like if they have to rent the venue, the space, I mean, they got to charge for people to come there, and they're trying to get guests that will bring people in, that they charge money for that kind of stuff. I got no problem with people making money on it. I just hate to see my big complaints about the seminars or whatever you want to call them, conferences. My big complaints are that they're a lot of money. It's the same people telling the same stuff over and over again. And, it's more about people selling stuff than it is anything else. And that's why I'd rather just do the meet and greets. I mean, you have to admit, our last meet and greet with all the people that we had there, 50% of the people that were there were people that are pretty well known in the Bigfoot world and have had a ton of experience. And we could have, if that would have been a conference, that would have been a hell of a conference if we'd have set up for them to just take turns talking. The one we're getting ready to do, we're in an active area where, there's stuff happening there. The one time I was there, I'm telling you, there was something there. We're going to an active area. Hey, Cam, how's it going, brother? But we're going to an active area. We're going to have a bunch of really good people there, and it's free. And I just think it's a better deal than a conference because you get to come to a place where something might happen, but more importantly, everybody's just hanging out and having a good time. And we're loosely structured, but you're outdoors and we're camping and Greg's cooking, and it don't get no better than that.
And there's no comparison between the two at all because I would rather go do what y'all do anytime. Oh, Cam, I'm glad you're here. Don't leave. There, I've met a guy. He's a mortician, and he puts on Dixie Cryptids, and he listens to Dixie Cryptids while he embalms bodies.
That is awesome.
Wow.
And I told him if I bump into you again, I will let you know. But
That is awesome.
Cam,
you have a guy embalming people while he's listening to you.
Yes.
You know how many cows I've milked listening to Cam Buckner?
You know how many tits I've pulled on listening to
Just over going away.
He said, yeah, I like the length of his videos. He said, because I can do about one episode per body.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, I'm telling him. I gotta tell him. I was awesome.
Cam's gonna have to have a story come out now, something about a mortician.
What do you see that? Cam said his sister-in-law is a mortician.
Heard all.
That's funny.
But yeah, he said
I agree 100%, Miss V.
Well, I didn't even say that. I need to get some good glasses or better eyes.
What? Miss V from the Not So Perfect Bigfoot show said,
"Oh yeah,
what is famous anyway? All encounters are equally important and contribute to the community." I agree wholeheartedly.
I'll promise. If you're the person that had the encounter, your encounter is very vivid and it's vitally important to you because it's something you'll never forget.
Yeah, and this one guy that said his wasn't very, he said it was scary. But how he knew it wasn't a moose or elk or whatever. He was in the Northwest. He'd lived there all his life, and he said it walked up on 2 feet. His dogs were they would bark at anything. They were huskies. Said they were trembling, and he said that it was standing there over the tent, and it was taking a long, deep breath and a exhale, and he said it was massive, whatever it was. He said, I know what a bear sounded like, and I know what he said, I didn't know. He said, I was scared. I said, I don't reckon you popped your head out, did you? I think Heather asked him that, and he said, no, I didn't.
No.
And he said it finally just assessed the situation, he thought, and eased on off. And he said, I could hear it. He said by the 4th and 5th step away, he said I could still hear it breathing. And so that was kind of that would be. I said, well, how'd you feel inside the tent? You feel a little bit vulnerable? He said, oh, man. He said it was horrible. But, yeah, that right there, that detail, that type of stuff scares me.
Hearing shit outside of a hammock's worse.
Hold on. Ronnie, we would love to talk to you. Let me see. Squirrel normally does this. There we go. There's the email address. But Ronnie, for the comment. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Not used to you doing this without squirrel here. The conference is located in Talladega National Forest in Alabama. and it's in the very beginning of October. And if you want all the details, you got to jump on Facebook and get on the Facebook page or email us, and we can do it that way, and we'll get with you. But I'd very much like to see the pictures if you don't mind sharing them, and we'd love to hear your stories. If you want to come on and do a show, if you want to talk about it privately, whatever, please give us an email and let us know. We'll get in touch with you directly.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, that's what we try to tell people. We like to hear from people, whether y'all have had an encounter or not. If y'all got a neighbor that's told you about something, contact us. Let us know. At least we kind of know what areas that people are having activity in, or how far back that maybe that you've heard something. If it's from something recent to even, we don't care if it was the area you live in. If people just been talking about it for 150 years, I mean, I like to know what gets people interested in it. I mean, seriously.
Or also, it was the hardest thing. Go away, Ray. It was the hardest thing getting into this field, coming from the outside and not knowing anybody or anything. It's very hard because you'll go out and you'll read books or read stuff online and watch YouTube videos, and you hear these people talking, and they're saying like, oh, I go out and do calls and I get interaction, or they go, oh, I put these certain glyphs on the ground and I get interaction, or, oh, I go to the secret spot that I know of and the boogers are always there. And it makes you feel like you need to be on the inside in like this secret group to start, because you're interested in the Bigfoot thing and you want to have some interaction. And my best advice would be, really, in all honesty, everybody that you see in chat, most of the people, 99% of the people that you see in this chat, you'll see in the chat on other shows that we all link to and follow and watch and we're all friends with. And they go to the meet and greets and the camp outs and the conferences and all that kind of stuff. But we're all one real big extended family. And if you end up watching this and you're just like, how do I get into it and actually start having some kind of encounters or Bigfoot experiences, it starts on a very human level. Open up and make contact with some of these people and just message them and talk to them. Email us and we'll put you in the right direction with people we know, if we know anybody in that area. But that's how you get into this and get things going. But we're one big family. If you see this show, come on in. The water's warm. Just say hello and start talking.
Spencer, that's just here's one thing right here. And look, I got it. A lot of people was getting alerts from our Facebook page, where Misty sent up the link about the meet and greet, where they got into the chat, and everybody's just had that chat rolling for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord, I had to turn my alerts off on it. I'll still go back and read it. But look, I'm not gonna lie. It got to where it was aggravating because all the alerts rolling in. But it warms my heart to look at these folks that are, it's just, they're messaging, just a giant group message, and they've been doing it for 2 weeks.
You know what I mean?
And they're enjoying it because these people got something in common and they're sharing. And look, y'all, it's just like a big family group chat that's been going on for 2 weeks.
It is. Misty created it so that we could update everybody, if anything changed or what's happening with the meet and greet. And everybody on the Woodwalkers page just jumped in there. And now they just chat constantly about everything. They've created their own little space where they're just constantly chatting. I had to turn it off on my phone because it goes off 50 times a day.
But hey, look, I mean, that just goes to show you that these folks, they've met each other through this right here. And these people are not just, they don't look at each other like strangers.
How many hundreds of people do you want to come, Cam? Because we can just narrow it down. We can book all the motels around there, and we can all do that.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'll tell you how dumb I am. I said I couldn't see the comments and everything. I've got a big screen TV right here. Now I can see the comments up on the wall.
Craig, you got to jump in here, man. This is like a free for all. You just got to wait for an opening and just jump in.
Yeah, well, I know I came down to that meet and greet last year at LBL for just one day because of my work schedule. And I was there probably 5 or 6 hours. And it was like I'd known everybody my whole life. You know, everybody I talked to. It's not like some other things I've been to, and you know, people's kind of standoffish, or these people are more important, or whatever. It's just everybody was like, you know, Greg and all of y'all said, just like family. And I ain't gonna get to come to Alabama, but between my wife hurting or breaking her ankle and me taking care of her, and I gotta have knee surgery, I just ain't gonna be able to do it.
Yeah. I wish you could, but I understand.
Well, that Spencer, just like you take like Cam. I mean, we all look. I don't even have to tell everybody how awesome Cam's podcast is and all this stuff. But you know, Cam has been to our meet and greets, and man, just you know, everybody's just happy to see everybody. And you know, even like Cam talks about, you know, he got into this listening to Coonbo and the Outlaws, and you know, Cam's told us several times, you know, that he's not a researcher. He don't get out and try to find these things and stuff. Now he has been with Spencer. What is the name of that video that he did where he went
Trackways?
Mark, Larry, and them Trackways.
Yeah, Trackways.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And look, that was sure enough. My hat was off to Cam on that.
Hey, Bama.
If you'll watch, you get to see kind of what legitimate researchers, not the guys that's trying to be famous, not the ones that's trying to be on TV, but what the guys that get out here, boots on the ground, what they go do, and kind of what it's like to go out and do some research. And that validated to a lot of people about what legitimate researchers do. That Trackways video is freaking awesome.
Well, that was so the Trackways video. If y'all have never seen Trackways, it's a documentary that Cam did with Eric Tipton, Kane Michael, Larry Porch, Mark Newbill. Was Cheryl in that? I forget if Cheryl.
No, I don't think Cheryl was with them.
I don't know if Cheryl was with them. I don't know if Justin was with them at that point. But anyway, point being, so Kane and Eric have spent years mapping out where these things are, and when they move through, they found a location and a time based off of years of experience of going, okay, they should be here roughly in this time period at this location. There was a lot of work that went into it, and then they went miles in the woods, and a large portion of it is Kane and Eric actually tracking these things and following them, you know, and the recording it, and Mark and Larry are there and they're participating too and everything. It's a really good show, or it's a really good documentary, but it's work. It's real work. It's not just these people that are out there selling books that are like, hey, I had a Bigfoot experience and these are all my thoughts and opinions. It's actual, like the way that they go about doing it is almost scientific. I mean, they're very data driven in the way that they do it, but it's real work. And there are people that do that. Not everybody in the Bigfoot world is like that, but there are people that really put in the work. And if you guys don't follow, what's their name up there in the Pacific Northwest, with Shane Corson and all them, I cannot think of the name of that right off the top of my head. Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Is it the project up there in the?
Yeah, it's. Man, what are they called? Come on, y'all. Somebody's got to know.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's another great group out. The Olympic Project. Thank you,
Project. Okay.
Yeah. The Olympic Project is the same way. Very data driven, very science based. Lot of hard work in that. What did Cam
And
say?
y'all,
I think it's a good reason
if y'all,
to go winter camping. Yeah, they like to go winter camping up in Ohio. They make fun of us because we can't handle the cold weather like they do.
if y'all want to hear some about the Olympic project, I interviewed Amy Boo months and months ago, and she gets to go up a couple weeks at a time with those guys. And there's
Yeah.
very interesting story she tells about some scientists that did not believe that they had found what they were telling them, and they go in and they do their investigation, and they come out and they're like, "Oh my God," and they're smiling because they know they found something really, really um, uh, meaningful, I guess, and it changed their minds once they saw it. So,
Yeah. See, we're way too laid back for that. We just we just go to areas where we know that they're at, and we have a good time. And hey, half the time stuff happens. So
Sometimes we don't go anywhere and stuff happens. But
that's because
Sometimes
you
go to the
live right
bathroom.
there.
yeah, sometimes you try to go to sleep in your recliner and they jiggle your door and go push on the wall.
Yep. I told somebody's like, "What are you like a researcher?" No, I just accidentally run up on crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything that accidentally happens to me while I'm hunting, usually.
yeah.
Well, but the thing is, you're out there with them, so it's not like we're not in a like Horton Park up here. I wouldn't go to Horton Park because there's a bunch of people visit, and try to look for anything because there are people that fake stuff. But if you're in an area like some of the areas we go to or where Greg lives, there's nobody there. If you see something, it's pretty much going to be legit, But yeah, I don't know. I kind of thought about getting into the trying to doing casting and stuff like that, and I've decided against it. I'm not. I mean, what's one more cast going to do, right?
What I want is for Roger to start when he's got some off days. He needs to be coming down here and just staying at my man cave with me.
Y'all want to hear something? Well, I don't know. I think it's creepy. I'll tell you the story that this person told me. Kind of. They didn't say that I could really tell the story, and I can't give a lot of detail, but I'll tell you this part. I don't know if you heard me say about 6-7 months ago, there was a Dogman sighting, supposedly. It was on a very famous Dogman YouTube show. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. And I heard them say the name of a lake, and it's a really big lake that's right near me. In fact, it's one of the bigger lakes in Virginia, and it holds some world record striped bass coming out of it. So it's a well-known spot. Okay. Anyway, the lady was talking, giving her experience, her encounter. Whenever she saw a Dogman, I heard her say that lake, and I was like, "Holy cow!" So I contact this guy. You probably know who I'm talking about. And I'm like, "Can you put me in touch with this person?" And he does. And she tells me the exact location. And I've already talked about this briefly, but her location is right near the location where I was finding teepees and X structures and tracks and got zapped at and all kinds of stuff. Well, anyway, she writes me again. I'm not going to give you that many details, but she writes me again a couple weeks ago, and her family that lives right there, she doesn't, but her family that lives right there, saw something else in the woods and saw eyes stand up, drop down, and come out of the shadows and pull back in, stand up, blink, and then disappear. I don't know why it just freaks me out hearing descriptions of stuff like that. Can you imagine seeing I didn't get a really, really good detail. Well, I did, but not a lot of stuff I can talk about. But I don't know what color the eye shine was. But can you imagine seeing that and then it comes out and then it comes back in? You see the eye shine, it just blinks and disappears.
Anytime it's at night, it's like 10 times worse. That's why I'm thinking about some of the stuff we've done at night. I don't know if we're going to do much of that.
Seriously, I'll tell you later.
Well, let me tell y'all something. As many encounters, as much as I've dealt with,
Other end by the dam.
as much as I've dealt with these things, it unnerves me still, especially like when they mess with my door. And they just started this a few months ago.
No.
When you're sitting here by yourself, even though I'm in this really well-built cabin, when something starts messing with your door, and then in a few minutes, when you finally, the other night when it done that, it wasn't pulling on the door like it done the last time. It was like it was pushing it in. You could hear it boom, 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 and it was loud. I mean, I'm sitting within 6 foot of that door, and I heard it bumping around stuff on the porch. I got some stuff sitting out there, and it was nearly like it was like digging through the stuff on the porch. So I'm thinking, you know, my neighbor down here and my brother, they got some dogs, but the dogs don't mess with stuff up here. They sure don't push on my door, and that door, you got to push it really hard to make it go in and bump the casing.
Yeah, it's not loose.
No, it's not loose at all. And that door bumped. It bumped hard about 4 or 5 times. Well, I done reached over and grabbed my 357 and slid it out of the holster. And I sat there and I thought, well, let's just see if it does anything major to the door. Well, it got quiet, so I eased the chair down as quietly as I could. And I eased over and I looked out the little peephole. I couldn't see anything. You know, that peephole's got a wide view. Well, I could see my vehicle and see the porch. And I stood there and just kept watching. And I opened the inside, the big door, the metal door, and looked through the glass. When I looked through the glass, I looked all around, looked over by the infamous propane tank, nothing. So I eased the glass, the storm door, I eased it open and just stuck my head out listening. Couldn't hear anything. But here's the thing. I mean, I'm in North Alabama, summertime, it's like 1 o'clock at night or so. There wasn't a cricket. There wasn't a frog. There was nothing. I'm telling you, it was like you was in a void. There was no sound at all, period, nothing. I stood there with my head just sticking out the door looking around for probably 20, 30 seconds. I eased the door, lashed it back, made sure it was secure, shut the inside door, flipped the lock on the knob and the deadbolt, sat back down in the chair. Well, that's on the wall to my right. Well, the bedroom that Misty usually stays in, which is straight in front of my chair across the living room into that bedroom. If you go straight in that bedroom door, you got a queen size bed, and on the other side is the wall where they since I added this part onto the cabin, that's where they always hit the wall. About 10 minutes after I'd closed that door, that wall in there, I could hear I've got like roofing metal for siding. I put it running long ways for siding. It's brown roofing metal, the thick, hard, you know, the rib roofing metal. That roofing metal where they usually hit the wall, it wasn't an impact hit, but it was like I could hear the metal making racket. And then I could hear the actual wall itself, like the 2x6 studs, the OSB lumber was creaking and popping like you had something pushing against the wall. And it sounded like it was moving down the wall. The wall was like the whole wall was flexing. And it snap and crack, and then it would like ease off, and then it would snap and crack and pop. And it did that for probably 10 seconds. Like something was leaning. In my mind, I'm picturing something leaning or pushing on that wall. It never slapped it, but you could hear that wall snapping and cracking and popping. Now, that unnerved me. I mean, at that point, I done stepped about 3 steps right here and got a 12-gauge riot gun loaded with slugs and buckshot and laid it on the recliner next to me, waiting to see if the wall pops in. But, I mean, it gets scary when they come to your house.
Hold on, though. Think about this, all y'all, because we've all had various experiences. Admittedly, Greg has had, like, a ton of really, really exceptional encounters and everything. But, you know, whenever you do this for so long, you get bored listening to the same stuff over and over again. So you kind of spread out and start listening to different stuff. And I'm not a big fan of the people that think these are friendly forest giants, kind of like Harry and the Hendersons. I'm not saying that they're 100% wrong. There are no experts in this field, in my opinion. I just don't think that they're overly friendly towards humans. I might be wrong on that. But having said that, it did make me think, like House. They could have snatched you at any point if they really wanted to. And I keep going back to what you were just talking about. We interpret that kind of stuff as scary. I mean, if I was sitting right there and I had a gun, you could bet your butt it'd be pointed at the door wherever the sound was coming from, like the one being on the roof, if that's what it was, or the one that you walked by going to the gate that grunted at you.
Yeah.
Or the time you did the whoop, and figured out that worked. All this kind of stuff, though, all I'm saying is there is a good chance a lot of people keep going back to this, and I think there's some truth to it. The way that we interpret it, we're thinking about it from a very human point of view, and the way that we interpret it is not necessarily how it is. I mean, if they wanted to, they'd come through the door. They'd grab you. They could bust through the damn wall. It almost seems like, especially in your case with the man cave being where it is, it really does seem like they're saying hello to you. Whenever Al threw the potatoes out in the backyard and they were gone, and then you get the knock on the side of the house right afterward, that sounds like them saying thank you, or like them just letting you know that they know that you know, and they're just letting you know that they're there and they're messing with you. Same way at Kumbo's.
I think it's their entertainment too.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jill.
Sure.
Well, I mean, think about that. I mean, here in the last 2 weeks, I mean, I went 5, 6, 7 weeks.
Who knows, Dave?
I had nothing happen. It was just like nothing ever happened here. Then I was on that live chat or a chat with Jeff and River and David. Jeff goes to sleep.
Very well could be.
Jeff goes to sleep. He's snoring, but River and David heard the thing hit my propane tank through my phone. They heard it halfway around the world, but it was loud, y'all. I mean, that thing banged. I told them, I said, well, apparently they're back. And they're like, what was that? I said, well, something just hit my propane tank. Sound like you smacked it with, a big, massive dead blow hammer. It wasn't like a rock hit it. I think it either slapped it with its hand or its fist. I mean, it would have took a tree big as a 5-gallon bucket falling on that tank to make a 500-gallon propane tank ring like a church bell. I went out there later and checked. There's nothing on the ground. There's nothing that could have fell on that tank to make it make that noise. Nothing. It was nothing natural made that tank do that. Well, then fast forward just a few days, when Kumbo was sitting in this chair right here, me and him did that podcast. When he leaves, I mean, that was on Thursday, so it's like 3 days later or whatever. If I'd stayed on my porch when Kumbo left, if I'd stayed on my porch 30 more seconds, I would have watched that Bigfoot walk in front of his pickup.
Thank you, Ronnie.
I mean, what was the odds of that? Kumbo walks out, gets in his truck, and when he puts his truck in reverse is when his headlights come on, he starts backing up, and he had to back up and turn and go down my driveway. Well, as he's backing up is when I stepped in, shut the door. And when he put his truck in drive and started turning to go out to leave, is he's making the turn. I'm talking about he's parked within 20 feet of my porch, and where he's backed up is 20 feet kind of in front of the porch. And when he put his truck in drive and started turning to leave, as he's making the turn, just nearly lines up with the driveway. There's a dang Bigfoot standing to the side of my driveway and walks right in front of his truck and crosses and goes into the woods. I mean, what more validation do I need that you got Kumbo leaving my cabin and he sees one cross? And look where it crossed would be within 100 feet of my porch. If I'd stood on the porch a little bit longer and watched him turn and drive down the driveway, because I'm elevated on the porch. I would have been looking right over top of his truck. I could have watched it walk across just like he did.
Well, and two, what color did you say it was? Did you say I missed that?
Yeah, he said that one was gray. I've yet to see a gray one. All the ones I've seen are as black as this shirt I've got on.
Now, you remember, now we don't know what the hair is, but remember it was black and it was clear for the last 2/3 of it. If something was covered in hair like that, it probably would look gray, I would think.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Probably.
Not saying that's what it is, but I mean, that makes sense.
The big one that Alan saw, he walked up on my porch. The big one he saw behind the propane tank. He said it was a grayish brown or something. It was a different color than the black ones I've seen.
Oh wow, Christy, thank you. It's going to go towards the meet and greet. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that very much.
Boy,
Wow.
Christy knows how much we love her anyway, though.
Hey, even though she gives us $20, we're still going to give her hell and make sure she brings us cookies when she
That's
comes.
right.
I'm just glad her health has improved a little bit.
Look, Porch drug his ass in here. Hey, Larry.
Good Lord.
Larry's coming to the meet and greet, whether he wants to or not, because Debbie said she's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish I was going to make it. You had to schedule it the first week during the damn bear season.
I do not want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Damn, and Craig, you can't come neither. Huh?
I ain't got hunting trips planned next year, so y'all be good.
Roger, you're coming, ain't you?
We're planning on it. I talked to my boss about time off and stuff, so I just can't officially take time off until a couple of weeks when my 90 days is up. So,
well,
Gary, you ain't got to bring anything. Don't go to extra work for it. Just bring yourself. We'd just be happy to see you.
There's Robbie Rains.
Robbie
Rains, the man.
Robbie.
Hey, Robbie. That was a good show y'all had last night. I enjoyed that. I went back and watched the rest of it today.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish it yet.
Yeah, you left kind of early.
Tell Doc if he'll give us permission, we'll promote Dark Angel medical stuff, because I truly believe that anybody that's roaming around the woods like we are, guys, you need to have your shit together, and you need to know how to take care of yourself if you get injured. I mean, some kind of trauma kit to have with you, and we could go into the whole survival aspect and all that kind of stuff, but you need to have some basic preparedness stuff with you if you're going.
Oh, look, there's Australia.
There is River.
Brother,
Hey, brother.
Look at that. River. Yep.
River, I'd send you a link, but Lord knows your internet won't work if you get on the show.
Hey, if he uses a cell phone, it's fine. We had that. We got it to work from his cell phone.
Send him a link, Spencer. Let him come on his cell.
All right. Give me a minute. Y'all keep talking.
But no, man, that's what's so strange. I mean, there's so many different states the hunting seasons comes in at so many different times.
Yeah.
I mean, like here in Alabama, even like it should be October 1st, part of the state, the part I'm in, bow season for, deer bow season will start October 1st, but down there around Talladega National Forest, it doesn't come in until October 15th. So that'll be before bow season. And really, y'all, the weather, I mean, we never know. I mean, in Alabama, if you don't like the weather, give it 15 minutes, it'll change. So, but honestly, it should be pretty decent. Now, I would expect probably it'll be fairly warm. It may be low 80. I mean, you never know, but odds are low 80s during the daytime. But at night, it should cool down, I would guess, in the 50s or 60s.
It stays, it's about like that until November here.
Yeah.
It used to get cold in September, and it don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like our bow season comes in 15th of September.
That's well, ours is about the same time.
That's
David,
way too hard.
are you coming to the meet and greet, Dave? I hope so.
Y'all, and that's what I tell people. It's just so overwhelming to me. How many people like the meet and greet at LBL? How many people travel from so far to come hang out? But you know what, Spencer? The people that travel the furthest, I guarantee if people ask them right now, they're proud that they came. I guarantee they'd do it again.
We've had quite a few people come from, way far away. I mean, well, the Blaylacks came,
Yeah.
They flew in, but we've had a lot of people drive from Texas. I think Robin, the first time Robin came, I don't know if it was from California or Texas where she was at. Might have been California. Came all the way in, but either way, it was a good time. Robbie, are you coming? You said I definitely would, but didn't you have something where you can't come?
M&Da's got a conference to be at the following weekend in Ohio.
The exact location of the meet and greet, Cam, is on the Facebook page. A lot of people know about it and will probably talk openly about it within a week or two of the actual meet and greet. But until then, we want to have a really accurate head count. And because it's somebody else's area, we're trying to keep it kind of contained. We just don't want to put it out there on the internet and have a bunch of people show up. It's not just me. There's other people involved with this, so I can't just make a decision on that.
Look, you just got to
on the Facebook page.
You got to send Cam a secret Dakota ring. Tell him handshake.
No, hey Cam, you can bring RVs in there. There's plenty of room, but it's not set up for RVs.
No hookups.
Yeah, there's no hookups. There's no electricity there. I don't know of a RV campground that's nearby, but I will find out and get back to you on that.
Well, Spencer,
do you know?
I'll tell you, it probably wouldn't be a campground, but we got a brother that lives right there close. I bet Cam could park.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Mark Green only lives 12 miles away, Cam, and he's already said that people could, people that he knows and everything, could stay there. I bet he would have no problem with you pulling him right there, and then you would have water and power, and you could just come over during the day. Just a thought.
Yep.
Spencer, did you see who our new third man is now?
Yeah, Dave.
Man. That's what I'm proud, man.
He's in Oregon this week in the desert hunting antelope, so I don't know if he's gonna have service or not, but he says he's gonna try to go live from his campsite.
Yeah, that's okay, Rob. We understand, man. It'd just be nice to have both you and DA at one of these things.
I should be having DA on here in the next couple weeks. He's got something going on this week, but
Spencer, you better hope you don't see the show.
Spencer, what I can't wait is we get DA, and we get Cam in the same place. And we can watch DA writing stuff down and handing it to Cam, and Cam's reading.
Yes. See, Cam, that's perfect. We can help you create the next couple Steve Lilly things, the next couple chapters of the saga.
Oh, Lord.
Can we weigh in on that? Because we'll have that shit all over the place. It'll be crazy.
Man, look, I'm going to tell you, Cam reading off DA stuff is freaking awesome.
Oh,
but dude, the whole Steve Lilly stuff that Cam come up with is freaking awesome.
Hold on. And Cam, if you're still listening, I saw one of your more recent shows today, and Denturer denturistis. What? I still don't know what you were trying to say. Denturist. Anyway, that was a good one. What we got? I cannot keep up with the comments. This is why Squirrel needs to be here.
I'm telling you, the chat's flying.
Robbie said, "Y'all have no clue what's coming in the books."
Oh my God!
You're gonna make it so that I get killed, aren't you? I know y'all.
Spencer's gonna be like Kenny on South Park. They killed Kenny.
Yeah, Timmy.
No, I don't get to be Timmy anymore. I ain't so much crippled anymore.
Timmy. That
Look,
you gotta.
I'm telling you, look, we need to bounce off South Park and talk about the dreaded man bear pig.
The man bear pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cryptid in South Park is the man bear pig.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. DA and them, they got it the other night talking about the what did they call them? He said a name I've never heard before about feline, like cats.
Yeah, work.
But no, he called them something else. He said their name
What is
is
that? I'm supposed to know what
he
that
said
is.
their name is something else. I've never heard of it. Felinus or
No, what is that? Somebody in the chat will know.
what's that?
I've heard that too. I've heard it several times.
See you, Cam. Come hang out with us.
See
I
you,
know what
Cam.
he's talking about, but I can't
Thanks
remember.
for stopping by.
I can't remember. One of them was a
Philitis?
wampus cat or something.
Philitis?
Felinoids?
Felinoid?
Felinoids?
And
Wampus cat?
Spencer, you talking about that dreaded thing that haunt men and track them down? It's like a
cougar?
A cougar succubus. Is that what you're talking about?
We ain't talking about squirrel.
A catastrophe.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard a story at the thing yesterday. I couldn't wrap my head around it, but the guy was so scared even telling the story that I had to halfway, entertain the thought. Like, if this guy's telling the truth, it was something that was kind of, he's colorblind. So like, red and green. And he said that, so like camouflage, it just sticks out to him and certain patterns stick out to him. And he was hunting and this thing, it looked like it was made out of gel with no color, was
I
moving
don't
through
know
the
how to
lens.
say that. You're just trying to make me look stupid on the show, which doesn't take much. Shut up, right?
Felids.
Sorry,
But,
Roger. Keep going.
No, you're good. But anyway, when he first started telling me, I'm like, what in the hell? And then, but the fear, he was getting goosebumps. He was shallow breathing. He hadn't told anybody, and it scared him so bad. And I'm like, well, you go watch 411 Hunters Edition. That lady at the end that saw something in the trees that didn't have color to it and almost had that cloaking look. I said, go watch that and see if that's something similar. I didn't know what to think about it, but
the Barb shoot video, yeah.
But he was said he never told anybody before, and y'all, I mean, he wasn't making his heart rate go up on purpose. It's like I didn't know what to think. I just listened, but who knows what's out there, that we can't see. And I asked him, I said, "You think you saw it because you are colorblind?" And he said, "I don't know. I don't know the answer to that." But he said when his tree stand creaked, it turned. It looked like it turned, and part of it turned towards him, like it was looking for him. So anyway, y'all do with that what you will. I crap like that scares me. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Time to get a real tree stand.
Yeah. Let me touch on PJ's comment in the thing. PJ, definitely look. We know who you are, and we will definitely get you all the details and info on the meet and greet. So,
yeah, I'll send it to you, Pam.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'll send you an exact thing on Google Maps and the exact dates and everything. We'll get you there.
We definitely want Pam and Paul to show up.
Yes. By the way, man, Pam is just PJ Arkansas. Pam, she is an absolutely amazing artist. I still think about that painting that she painted us to raffle off at the raffle last time. There will be a raffle this time. Hey, Craig.
Yeah.
And Jeff, are you listening too? Where did Yarrington go? But anyway, Craig, since you've actually been on safari hunting wild animals and everything, and I was hoping Jeff would jump on and talk about some of the bear hunting thing. Misty could contribute to this if she's been in there. But how many times have you been close to an animal, a big animal, that could have hurt you, and you didn't realize you were close to it, you know, and the damn thing comes out, and then you got to react to it?
Not too many, really. I maybe a couple times, like when we were tracking something. You know, we was tracking a wounded warthog, and then we got into big thick stuff, and you couldn't really see good, and you can hear it getting closer to you. But as far as something that I didn't know was there, not really.
Well, even on the stuff that you knew was there, I mean, what does your mindset have to be like, and your reaction time have to be like to respond to something to that? I can't even imagine if something's wounded, if you wounded it and it's coming towards you. I mean, that's a whole different thing.
I mean, if things were to go bad, you don't have much time. You know, you may have time to get off 2 or 3 shots with a semi-automatic pistol, but most encounters, as far as in getting charged by a wounded animal or even one not wounded that you just walk up on, I mean, most of the time they're within feet. So you take a bear, could run 45 mile an hour for 100 yards. How long does that take to cover a few feet?
Look, I'm telling y'all, I've never had a chance or an opportunity, I guess, to bear hunt. But I've watched a lot of these videos, and man, it makes me cringe when them guys will wound one and they have to track it down.
Yeah.
I've been there.
That's the scary part. Tell us about it, Jeff.
Oh shit. Well, I've hunted 2, and they were both with dogs. And first one, we had him treed and trying to keep him in the tree because you got to pull the dogs back.
See you back.
So if the bear comes down, he don't get in a fight and kill any of the dogs. So they'll tie him back. Well, while they're doing that, I'm standing there. They tell you to stay under the tree and keep your hands on the tree because normally the vibrations keep them from wanting to move down the tree. Well, this bear did not want to. It didn't want to listen to that. Well, it starts coming down the tree backwards on top of me, and I'm like, well, what do I do?
20 feet. 20 feet.
The guy's yelling, "Go, kill him!" So at this point, all I can see is this big blob of fur that I'm 15 feet under. So I got enough time to swing the rifle up and just start shooting into him.
Bye, Roger. Thank you.
I stepped backwards off of the root and got my foot stuck in the mud and ended up emptying this little Ruger 44 carbine into the side of him. So 5 rounds of 44 and 1 9mm from the guy behind me later, we had a bear.
Golly.
That was just a precautionary from the guy next to me, though. That was because the guy was trying to pull his 44, but he's over here, so he's shooting towards us. And it was done, but you don't want to take any chance of something coming back to life. So while I was trying to load, they shot.
And that's a bear. How big was the bear?
That one was only about 180.
Right.
Now that wasn't as bad as the second bear, the last bear I hunted. He was a 385. We shot him as the dogs were bringing him across the road. and I hit him low, and 3.5 inches of fat on this thing. You might as well have shot him with a pellet gun. I mean, with a 30-30, it did virtually nothing to this bear. And I originally thought I'd hit him good. Well, he rolls into the ditch and the dogs pile in there and he just starts throwing them.
We need you on here and
killed
share.
one of the dogs.
We need Misty on here. She's got some bear stories, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
she might on us.
Yeah, Sherry's right. The little ones will do a lot more damage than the big ones generally.
But I'm just simply saying, I'm saying you got people going out in the woods that don't really know a lot about boogers and think that because they're toting, you know, a 9mm on their side, and you're talking about something that's bigger, sneakier, you know, and is going to be up on you before you know anything about it. I wouldn't shoot one anyway, but
the scariest part about tracking that one, Spencer, that bear, after he killed the dog, took off into this pine thicket on the side of this cliff. And I mean, you're running through shit that you're parting, trying to look through because you can't see nothing.
right.
And it's so thick in there, but he can move right through it like it's nothing. And we tracked him down to this little rock bluff, and he's sitting up there, and the dogs had him bait again. We're trying to get in a position to put him down, and he sees us and tears off again. Finally, we catch him in a
10mm is good.
Yeah.
That's a good sidearm.
We caught him in a blowdown. We were so close to him when we finally killed him. I would have never had time to get my rifle up to shoot him. My guide actually spotted him first because our guide was like 6'4", so he's looking over everything. And he looks down and he sees it in this little blowdown and drew his pistol in time to put 144 into its head because it was in this little blowdown. All he could see was the ears sticking up out of the brush, and he could see the two dogs, but you pretty much have to be right on top of them to see them in some of that thick stuff in Maine. He shot that bear at 5 yards. And we were stacked up behind him. We couldn't see nothing. It was just that thick. We were like all up against each other. I actually could tell when he went to pull the gun out. That was how close together we all were.
I'd like to hear about that, Carl.
Yeah,
Email us, please.
definitely, Carl. We'd love to hear about it. I mean, nothing else. We, message us or we'll do a live chat. If you don't want to come on the show, we just like to talk with you backstage and hear your story.
Yeah, that goes for anybody. I mean, even if you didn't lay eyes on it, if you just had any kind of encounter or experience or know someone that did, let us know.
But if a bear can do that, Spencer, these things can be on you before you'd even get a rifle up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they can be on you and you not know that they're there.
You wouldn't even have time to shoulder nothing.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you this. I shot, and I've talked about it before. I shot a deer over here. I mean, a whitetail buck. I shot the thing with 6-point. That thing, I shot it twice, knocked it down 2 times, and it jumped up and came running straight at me and dropped its head, and it was coming at me with its horn. And when I shot
that happened, I shot one right off of me like that once.
That deer was coming to gore me with its horns, and I shot it the 3rd time, and it reared up and fell over backwards, and then it started trying to get away, and I kept shooting it. But yeah, that even with a white-tailed deer, that deer was fixing to try to attack me.
I shot one point blank with a 12-gauge slug coming down a trail at me, and it was the 6-pointer leveled its horns at me.
Yeah.
And I had this is what I got. I didn't even have time to get it up to the shoulder. I just pretty much stuck the gun out.
Yeah. Yeah, Spencer. You need to go over there and hang out with Robbie. He's got some pretty good howl or scream or whatever somebody'd sent him.
Yeah,
Track it down.
yeah. He said that he contacted the guy that recorded that. You know, I'll say this: I'm into the audio thing. If anybody doesn't know, so I review a lot of audio and look at it on the spectrograph. And the one that Kumbo and Cheryl and House, I don't know if you were there at that point whenever they recorded that one at LBL, but that was not a typical canid at all, and it doesn't quite match a booger. And I swear I do think that was a dog man. And man, I hate even saying that, but I swear I do think that was, and pretty sure it was recorded at LBL, wasn't it, Greg?
The one that Cheryl's got, I know one of them. That was a couple of years ago at LBL, and that's the one. Are you talking about the one where it's on the bridge?
Yes.
Yeah. I wound up. I didn't get up there to the next day, so I wasn't with them when they actually recorded it. But now we went back the same area the night after they recorded that, and we got some activity. It wasn't quite the howl that they got, but look, that was horrendous. And that would have been on the eastern side of LBL.
It's a really impressive audio if you're into audio. I'll say this on a very serious level: pound for pound, audio carries a lot of weight scientifically because you can compare it to other indigenous creatures. You can look at the vocal signature and you can get a real good feel for what it is not. So kind of process of elimination type thing. But I think that was a Dogman recording. And in fact, if anybody is interested in it, I don't know what episode it was, but Mark and Larry actually showed the audio on the spectrograph and everything on Sawdust Beast. It was probably about 2 years ago. Kumbo was one of the guests. I'm not sure who else was on there. I'd have to go back and look, but it's really impressive audio. And if what Robbie's friend has is anything similar to that, no, I don't want to go look for it.
Where's this sense of adventure?
I got reports of them over here, not far from my place, in a very popular fishing area too.
And Ron, I got your pictures, but it's impossible for me to upload them and put them up during the show once we're already live and everything. If you want, I can put them on the Facebook page for everybody to look at. The one of the track looks really good. The one of the possible booger holding a deer that's in the foliage, I can't see it well enough on my phone to really weigh in on that. And pictures, y'all, please, just whenever you're out, run video on your phones. If you can, run video instead of taking pictures, because if something moves, we can get a much better feel for it on video. But I did get them, Ron, and I'll message you back whenever we get done with all this stuff and I can look at them properly. Is what in a good price range, Haywood?
Christy's looking at a 380.
A 380 is a neck down 9mm.
Just get the 9mm.
That's good. That's good if you're getting rid of the human kind of problem, but I wouldn't trust that for boogering.
Well, I'd rather have that than not have nothing.
I got one pistol that I trust to carry right now. It's a 38, but I got it loaded with those buffalo bores, the outdoorsmen. Yeah. Those things put out that's some impressive firepower out of that thing.
Yeah.
Those hard cast lead bullets are where it's at for stopping.
Yeah, there was a guide out in Kodiak, Alaska that took a husband and wife out on a fishing trip, and they got attacked by a brown bear. And all he took that day was a 9mm, but he had them hard cast buffalo bullets in it and killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He emptied the whole magazine, but he killed it.
The hard cast bullets would be the way to go, you would think.
Yeah.
I just got another brand new semi-auto shotgun, and I got the new, not the Black Magic slugs because they don't make those anymore, but the I can't think of the name of the company that makes the Black Magic, but they made another one where it's that penetrating. Yeah, Bernanke. Yeah, it's that hard cast slug with a conical point on it. That's my thing that goes with me whenever I go anywhere.
That's your dog man ammo.
No, I want a flare pistol because I figure anything covered in hair is not want to get set on fire.
I'm like Greg. I don't have a problem having to ride out with the Forestry Service at the end of the night.
Yeah. I'd call them and admit to it.
Yeah, just about.
Sure, what happened? I lit a booger on fire.
Yes.
10 mil would be my pick for
10 millimeters. 10 millimeters. A stand-up gun. I mean that you got a high round capacity. And if you go on, I can't remember what that old boy's name is. There was some comparison videos. The guy it wasn't Kentucky Ballistics, but it was another one. He was doing a comparison between a 10 millimeter and a 357 Magnum. And, here's what I try to tell people. And everybody gets into the 10 millimeters like a 44 Magnum. Well, it's not. I mean, it's a heck of a round. But, the 357 Magnum actually had a lot more penetration than the 10 millimeter did.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yeah, it was on a ballistic gel. The 10 millimeter was seemed like it was 16 or 18 inches of penetration, and the 357 Magnum was like 28 inches.
Yeah, well,
I remember about 357. They don't jam up either.
You're right.
You got that revolver.
I like revolvers.
Well, the hard cast slugs, especially those Bernanke, they're like 36 inches. They go right through 2 blocks of the stuff and come out the other side. So to hell with a 357.
Yeah.
So you're just toting a shotgun in all your research areas, huh?
No. I have stuff that happens here, and I go outside without my phone. Without a gun. I find something. I'm like, damn, I gotta go back to the house and get my phone.
Man.
I don't do a whole lot of poking around yet, but I'm never going to consider myself a researcher, though. I'll go out and look for stuff, but
I'm not a researcher either.
I did buy a parabolic.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to start playing with that. I just got it. It's amazing. You can buy an absolutely dirt cheap one. Those things are impressive.
The only thing about a parabolic is they're directional. If you don't have it pointed right in that area, I mean,
Spencer, you read Misty's comment there.
Oh God, do I have to? Where's she at?
Lord. What did she do?
She says you're welcome.
Okay, fellas, change the subject. I'm getting bored. Look, I mean,
Misty, I'll kick you off the channel while you're in comments.
Oh my God! Look, we needed you on here, but no, we out playing Farmer Brown.
You knew, Squirrel. You knew it was going to devolve into this. I don't want to hear anything.
I wonder if Cheryl got that mushroom done.
Oh God, she's carving on the mushroom right now.
No doubt. Hey, look, every time she says she's gonna go steal some wood from her neighbor, which it turned out her neighbor's her uncle. But I mean, it's like, what are you whittling? Are you building a fire? What kind of wood are we stealing?
Right, 3D. Greg's got 357, 44, and 30-30 in several different. And He told me he would sell me that Rossi 357 real cheap, but every time I bring it up, Indian gives on me.
I found him a 357 lever gun for cheap. He won't. Oh no, I want one for $300. I found him a $1,200 rifle on sale for $799, and he cried and squalled. Oh, but I want one for $300. Well, yeah, I'd like to have a leprechaun in a glass jar, but I ain't gonna find one.
Go away.
Those Rossies will work just as good as the other ones.
Rossies are good.
Yeah.
How did y'all get in here?
Well, the cool thing about a 357,
My dog's over here bumping into my table.
Well, all of mine are in here now, and Jake's tail is wagging and hitting the end table here. It's making noise. Hold on.
If you see if you see my computer vibrate, it's my dog over here rubbing against it.
Yeah, sure, it's your dog rubbing.
no doubt. They
Be like CNN.
So Misty, if you're still in here, you whittling. Look, did you know? Hey, did you? I know you saw it. I'm assuming you saw it in our four-way chat with Roger and Misty and me and Spencer. David Black done sent Misty. He sent her a big old box of rocks to whittle on or to chip on.
Yeah, it wasn't 2 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 minutes after she sent the picture of the rocks, the volcanic glass, the obsidian.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I gotta whip out some stuff, making some airheads and stuff. 2 minutes, she sends us a picture of her finger. She's got blood pouring. And then about 20 minutes after that, she sends us a picture of her sandal or flip flops covered in blood. She's like, I dropped a piece on my foot.
And it fell in her flip flops and cut her up.
Yeah.
The other day, a couple weeks ago, I bought a couple of those Jolly Rogers from Scallywag, and I had just listened to Robbie talking about cutting himself with that damn thing. 5 minutes later, I cut myself with the same damn knife.
That's the thing about Misty. What everybody don't say. I mean, y'all look. She's all the time doing something. I mean, there's really absolutely no telling what she's absolutely doing today, because she's either beating rocks together, making airheads, or she's whittling out fire starters out of wood. Or, I mean, look, she's out there grazing in the yard, plucking weeds and stuff, making a salad, or planting or farming or crafting.
Working on the tractor, catching chickens, road chickens.
Or she's called under her 4-wheel drive, changing the oil. I mean, putting a starter on it or something. I mean, y'all missed out on a lot of what Misty is capable of doing.
We told her to video
threatening me about
she's out
coming to
doing
see
that.
these cows. She said she'd be here already if she didn't live closer.
Y'all, and I'm not kidding you. Her tombstone one of these days is going to read, "Here lies Misty Haynes. She died from petting something that wasn't supposed to get petted."
or making a damn tincture or eating something that she wasn't supposed to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's our resident white witch. She's our root woman of the bunch.
She got these little 1/2-ounce dropper bottles to like put essential oils and tinctures in, and then she's got like these 3-ounce bottles. And she was showing us the 3-ounce bottles of the stuff that she was making and everything. And she said, "Look, Spencer," and she got this little 1/2-ounce bottle. She's like, "I got some your size. I'm gonna send to you," because she's a punk ass.
And then Spencer's like, he's like, "Well, I get that. I drank the whole thing." And she's like, "If you want to die, you like 2 drops."
I don't know. I don't know. That's why I asked. We're just rambling. We're just rambling now.
She really does, y'all. I mean, I've got some stuff that popped up out here and like by my porch. It's just an odd looking little bush shrub deal. And I sent her a picture of it. I was like, what is this? You any idea? and she rattles off some type of like bitter something. She said, "I'm pretty sure that's it." And I looked it up. Sure enough, she was dead on, and it
I
cured
guess she wanted you to eat it.
Well, no, I ain't much on that. I mean, look, long as now, if the whole world goes to crap, I can't get home no medicine. I might chew a leaf or something, but I'm still kind of trusting on modern science and it's weighed out to a certain deal, and I can just take it in pill or cream form. But I mean, look, there's a lot of that stuff though that's gone by the wayside. That's vitally important for people to be able to make medicines.
Speaking of a cream, Squirrel, go ahead and throw up the name of that new cream you developed.
It doesn't have any special ingredients, does it?
She'll post it in the comments.
Yeah.
Well, y'all got anything else?
Well, I got a guest coming on this week that's actually in the chat.
Really? Who it is?
John Lamb.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Butt potion number 9. She made butt salve, y'all. It's like chapstick for your ass. That's what she made.
She's got. Look, you know what'd be bad though. I just gotta have some little bit of concern. How much of this stuff does JR have to like test out?
He's the guinea pig.
He's the guinea pig.
That's why she has to keep him locked down at the house.
No doubt. Bless his heart. If he ever gets out of that closet where she's got him tied up, and breaks out of the pantry or whatever.
Roger just random. Roger gets off the show because he has to go. He's just random commenting in there. I'm about to microwave some bacon. All right.
So Roger, I wonder if he's making that for him or for Heather. He may be the sandwich maker today.
Well, you say he was supposed to be mowing the lawn or something like that. He came inside and he missed church today, so he's already on Heather's bad side.
He never did say if he was in trouble because he missed church or if he didn't have the yard.
Right.
It may have been both.
My father forgot that we sold 2 cows this week. He thought they were missing. I said, Dad, they went to the butcher shop last week. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I put them on the trailer.
Well, look, I'm gonna throw something out here. I'm gonna do this just for Misty. If somebody out there, if somebody's got
Jeremiah, we are not professional. I'm sorry. Your show is professional as hell, buddy. You do a really good job. We're off the rails over here.
Look, I'm kind of like Misty. She's about got me into talking about something. I ain't gonna go out there and doodle around in the cemetery. But if some of y'all's got some ghost stories, some apparition stories, contact us. We'll let Misty set up a show and let's do one talking about haints and spooks.
Well, actually, what were they talking about? Who was talking about the it's Troy Allen telling me about the rakes.
Yeah.
He was saying that he thinks what they're talking about
one of those.
He was saying that a lot of what people were talking about nowadays is rakes. But that would I'd love to hear from somebody that actually had some experience seeing something like that. I mean, shush up. Your show is only one step better than ours. You only maintain a modicum of professionality above ours.
What's professional?
Hey, LIB. Yeah, we're not professional. We get the detail, we get the important stuff out there, and then it just goes to hell after that. Especially if Squirrel's not here.
Yeah, I got a guy that told me about seeing a rake or whatever you call them things.
Really?
Not far from here on the other side of the river, yeah. Coming out of a park campground lake, coming over the fence and crossing the road and then off down the gigantic embankment that's like a couple 100-foot drop off. And he said it kind of shielded itself from the car light as it was going across.
Every once in a while, hey, y'all, don't everybody jump on me just because Squirrel's not here and the show's out of control today. There is important stuff every once in a while, Miles.
Hey, one thing that Misty's dropped the ball on, kinda. We're gonna dog her a little bit. Look, there's supposed to be all kind of herbs and potions and natural things that's supposed to run off cryptids. We need to know that. What if there's something out there that we could use or somebody could use that's having trouble with stuff that would repel them? I mean, that would be something.
They ain't got to carry a 10 millimeter, just a water gun.
Yeah.
Holy water squirt gun.
Yeah.
I sure will. And Carl, just so you know, there's been several people that have seen the dark shadowy thing. In fact, up at Mark Green's on Creepy Mountain, several of us all at one time saw, I think it was boogers, but it might not have been, but it looked like a shadow moving in between the trees. It went back and forth a couple times, and it was darker than the rest of the nighttime. I mean, you could tell, and it was just fluid as water. But there's been several people that have seen that, Carl.
I can tell you this, it's probably been a month or 6 weeks ago. Misty sent me a message. She saw some type of big shadow deal at her yard that she's yet to explain. And it was kind of spooky, her just even telling me about it. But yeah, Misty saw a massive, like a shadow figure. I mean, she saw it.
And I saw a giant shadow thing one time that looked like a crow come out of the woods. Its wings came out in front of it, and then it sucked back in the woods. I still don't know what the hell that was, but
Roger, you think that'll repel them? A wooden whatever Misty made?
A wooden whatever.
I saw what I thought was an apparition one time, but I'm almost thinking, looking back on it now, maybe it was a booger.
Wow.
All I'm saying is, if the things are not 100% flesh and blood, which the more I do this, the more I think that they have skills that we don't understand, or they can do some really weird shit. But once you take just straight physical flesh and blood, earthly bound stuff off the table, if they're anything more than that, who knows what they can do, what they're capable of. And also at the same time, you always have to keep in mind, maybe they are attracted to areas that other things are attracted to at the same time. So, I mean, you might be finding boogers and dogman and all kinds of supernatural stuff, maybe even demonic stuff, all in the same areas. Maybe it's because of the area. I don't know. They're no experts. I'm just saying you got to keep an open mind on all of it. You don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, even some stuff like what I was talking about, about is there certain plants or things that could repel things. Think about how it goes back to, we'll just dive off into the whole deal about vampires, that vampires are supposed to be repelled by garlic, or like werewolves would be like wolf's bane, or that it was something about, what was it, rose petals or whatever, would repel stuff like that. But I mean, it makes you wonder, is that just something that somebody's just totally drug out of the air and said,
How many times?
To it.
How many
Well,
times?
what is it the American Indians used to burn?
Sage.
Yeah, burn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What?
and that was
Say,
to get rid of evil spirits.
yeah.
how many times have you heard someone talking about boogers? Which, I mean, in our world, dealing with the cryptids, boogers are kind of as baseline as you can get. We know that they're there. People question whether or not they're just flesh and blood or are they something more. But how many times have you heard people talk about boogers being rebuked in the name of God? And I can think off the top of my head 20 people at least that have rebuked boogers in the name of God, and they left, according to those people. And I'm going to say from a lot of people that I really, really trust. And it makes you think that I don't know. There's something more to it than flesh and blood. But
I was in a deer stand, had something watching me, and got that creepy feeling. And I actually said to it to leave. I didn't involve God in it, but I flipped the safety off the rifle and I said, I think you need to go. And it left, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
have you, Wyatt, go back and listen to Greg House's stuff that he had happen. We don't want him to start talking about it now because he'll go on for the next 2 hours. But he's done countless shows on his encounters, and he has something almost exactly like that. Hit it real quick, House. Don't go into all the detail.
Well, I had one coming around the field, 100%. I could hear it making noise, breaking limbs, and it was coming around the green field. It was just out of the field in the thicket, and where the field came around where I was at, I could see the whole field, but there was a trail that I had bush hogged that went out like angling, and the way this thing was walking, it was on the intersect course that it was walking to that opening, that road that I had bush hogged out, and I could watch the timber, the brush. I could see like little pine trees part, where it was like this thing was pushing through, and I heard it for way over 100 yards coming. And I mean, I'm not just hearing it, but it's walking. I can see it plowing through the bushes coming. When that thing got to that opening, that road that it was going to have to cross, it was going to have to either turn and go away from me. But if it kept going, I'm going to see whatever's making all this racket. And I mean, we're talking about the noise that if in this thicket, if you'd had a full grown bull, like a cow, a bull, and it's walking, but it's bipedal, and it's plowing through. Walk a little bit, stop. Walk a little more, stop. The thing goes up, and I'm looking. I did not blink. I did not nothing. From about 35 yards, this thing gets up to that opening, and it crossed that opening and continued on the other side of that trail. The same noises, breaking limbs, pushing stuff. Whatever crossed that road, I could not see it. It was for no better word, whatever crossed that road was invisible. I cannot explain that. I no way, shape, form, or fashion can I make that make sense. All I can tell you is there was something physical pushing trees, pushing limbs out of the way, coming through the brush, and it crossed that road, and I could not see what crossed that road.
I've been growled at by something that made me stop dead in my tracks right at sunset in the middle of the woods, coming back from property that I shouldn't have been on, but I wanted to see what went through there, and I got growled at by something, and it was within 15, 20 yards at the most. And where I was, I could see. Aside from trees, there was no underbrush. I mean, a little bit, but I could see. And there was nothing there. I don't know what did it, but I ain't gonna lie, it scared me. And I got my ass out of there.
You know,
I was working on a fence next to an overgrown ditch and had something growling at me back here behind the barn. And I don't know what it was. I could never see it. I have no clue.
You know,
whatever growled at me was big. It
Yeah,
it
this
was a
didn't sound small.
it was a deep low growl, and it was impressive.
Yeah,
But there wasn't anything there other than me leaving.
exactly.
well, you know, Roger's son Peyton last year, he was deer hunting, and something got to make a noise at him, and actually, I think threw something at him, and he kept looking, and where this was coming from was just like some weeds and stuff, and he couldn't see anything, nothing.
Man, I can't wait. Here in another couple months, I'll probably have a little bit more answers on what I'm doing right now with this structure stuff. I can't wait to talk about that and show everybody that if it already what I've documented and collected is impressive, but here in a few months, hopefully I'll have enough to really make something of it to show everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did Roger say? Hold on.
Yeah.
20 yards in front of me and I couldn't see it. I know.
I've got a few places to follow up on around here to look at, but I tell you, I keep hearing more and more stuff about around the area, Spence. It's been
I'm gonna just tell y'all something. I gotta make this public right here. That lady right there, Miss Joyce, DS Bama, that lady ain't scared of squat. But y'all kept up with her and listened to the encounters and seen the stuff that she's talked about that she's living with, and she keeps going out there and keeps dealing with them. She's got no fear. Well, she does. She overpowers it because she's still doing it. And y'all, look, she's kind of in a situation like I am, like Flat Rock is, like Mark Green, Coonbow, and she's right here in Alabama. She's on the southern end of Alabama. But there again, here in Alabama, there are some of us that these things are there. I mean, you're dealing with them not a daily basis, but a continuous basis. And, you know, she goes out by herself, walking her dog and stuff, and sees these things show themselves to her. And
who's to know if it goes into the whole thing like I think about you and your situation and Kumbo. I think they know when you know, and I think they show you self more. And Miss Bama, you know, I've seen a lot of her stuff. And again, she's right there in a spot and she's interacting with them all the time. I don't know, y'all. It's hard to put this stuff in a box and put labels on it and say that the way it works and everything. Tell you this though, Alabama has no shortage of Bigfoot. We're having a meet and greet in Alabama. There's a lot of people from Alabama coming to the meet and greet. It's going to be a good meet and greet. You can come talk to them yourselves.
I'm impressed with the amount of activity we have around here that I didn't know about.
It's funny how many people come out of the woodwork once they know that they can talk to you. Once you go public and you're willing to fall on the sword, they'll come out and they'll start talking to you. Look at Craig. We got Craig on the show. He talks about stuff every once in a while. We get him on the show and he doesn't talk at all. Craig, what are you doing? We brought you on the show to talk.
Come on, Craig.
You gotta talk, Craig.
I'm just listening.
he's soaking it in.
We brought you on just for eye candy, get you down there in the bottom corner of all the women going up.
You gotta have something to look at.
Where you are, Craig.
Do what?
You get activity around your place?
Well, I mean, I've had some, and I've never seen one. As far as actually, I've seen game camera pictures that a friend had, but there's a couple other people. But for the most part, most people aren't admitting it or they don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd get more of the old timers to talk about it, but a lot of them have died off around here. So but I still think my grandfather knew more about this place than he ever let on. There were just a few things. He was always weird about people. Here, there you go. I'm whittling spears for my kid. But
Daddy.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't
how
remember.
are you?
My grandparents never did mention anything about him, so I don't know.
Well, guys, I'll dare to say that there's a lot of people out there that's probably dealing with like the people I named here in Alabama: Coonbo, me, Mark Green, Flat Rock, and Miss Bama. But these people they're not saying nothing to people. They're not stepping out and saying, look, yeah, I'm putting up with this. This is an ongoing deal. It's been happening a long time. Blah, 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 blah. These people are just, I'm telling you, there's going to be people out there that feel like they're alone in this and there's nobody to talk to. They're going to feel like if I come out, people's going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think I'm nuts. I'm going to get ridiculed. But guys, I'm telling you, it ain't just here in Alabama that these things are habituating in certain places. It's going to be probably name a state. Somebody somewhere, there's going to be a lot of people that's dealing with what I'm dealing with and all these other folks. And it's just sad that a lot of these people don't have nobody to talk to. They're afraid to come out with it. And that's what's sad, is because there are people out there putting up with what you're dealing with, and there are people to talk to.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there's got to be something to it, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people all aren't telling the same lie.
No.
You know, even if only one of them is telling the truth, then you have to validate the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I mean, look, if you could have 100 people telling a story, and if 99 of them are lying, but that one guy's telling the absolute truth, that still makes that story real. That makes it real.
Right.
I mean, and look, just like I tell people that say, well, I don't believe it, and I blah, 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 blah. Well, okay. Well, what about these other people that have seen it? And they say, well, I mean, can I trust them? Well, whose word will you take? Do you want a preacher, a politician, a police? You want a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian chief? What
Right.
walk of life, what background person are you going to say, well, that guy's honest. He's honest. He's telling the truth. You name that person you want, and odds are, you give us a day or two, I'll find somebody that's their profession. They're going to be well respected in their community. They're going to have a good job. They're going to have a family, pillar of the community. And these people are taking a risk to come out and say, well, let me tell you what happened to me. This is what, I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I saw. This is what I witnessed. This is what happened. And look, there is enough evidence that Bigfoot exists, that if you had a third of that evidence, you could put somebody away from now on for murder.
If you're open-minded at all, and willing to sit down and look at the amount of evidence and information that is out there, I don't know how you come away from the subject of Bigfoot anyway, not saying the stuff about other cryptids, but Bigfoot. If you're open-minded and you have a little bit of intelligence and common sense, I don't know how you come away from the subject just being completely like, no, Bigfoot does not exist. You're just not looking at the amount of information that's out there. Sure, some people bullshit. I mean, you're going to have that in any kind of field. There are a whole lot of people in every field, like what Greg was saying, that are telling the truth. Just give them a chance. And I mean, that's why on this show, it's not our job to prove that Bigfoot exists. If you believe in boogers, good for you. Hey, you can jump right in here with us. If you don't believe in it and you're looking for proof, maybe you'll listen to some of the people that we have on, or some of the people that we're associated with that they have on and everything, and it'll sway you one way or the other. Want a chance to prove it to yourself? We keep saying stuff like, hey, we're going here, here, and here. We're having the meet and greets. You can come out there and try to experience it yourself. But if you're just sitting at home watching YouTube videos and going, Bigfoot doesn't exist. You're not being legit about trying to find out if boogers exist or not.
Well, here's another thing. Some of these people, and I've talked to people before, it's like, man, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. And I'm like, well, if you ever researched it for yourself, and I don't mean go out in the woods and bang. I'm talking about legitimately go at it like you're trying to learn something, and you're going to look it up, look at credible people, listen to testimony, look at evidence that's been found, and research. They're like, man, no, I mean, it ain't real. I mean, it's just all hocus pocus and people make stuff up. Well, if you get somebody that just absolutely refuses to believe it all, just challenge them. Say, well, I'll tell you what, give it 2 or 3 days, and every day.
You've experienced Dogman and Bigfoot, Steve.
Wow.
We would like to hear from you.
Yeah, we need to talk to Steve.
There's the email.
But yeah, ask that person that wants to ridicule stuff. Say, well, look, you ever really checked into it? Have you ever listened to the actual people and listen and watch their demeanor, look at their face, look in their eyes, and listen to these people. Let them tell you about what happened, and then look at what evidence is collected, from hair samples to tracks to pictures, and just start diving into it. And I'll tell you what you do: look at the evidence and try to try to prove it one way or the other. And I'll promise you, if they'll even be remotely honest and have an open mind, they'll walk away from it going, wow, there may be something to this. And then the more they investigate, the more they're going to realize that there's a whole lot of evidence to prove it's real.
Yep.
The thing that always pisses me off is they're like, oh, well, no, it don't exist. And then I'm like, okay, if you're so sure of that, why don't you go out with us?
Yeah.
But they don't want to go.
No.
I don't even want to get into it with them. If you want to go, you know where we're going. You can come along. You can try it for yourself. If you're not willing to do that, you have no say in the matter.
No.
Well, guys,
oh wow, hey, look there. Roger sent a message, said he likes 3 subscribers, having 1,900 subscribers. So look, if y'all ain't subscribed to Roger Williams, Squatch and Holler.
Squatch and Holler. Hold on, I think we've got his thing up here. Hold on. No. I thought Misty had it up here.
Spencer, I guess you're going to have to break down and subscribe to him.
Our Dodger at 1971. What?
So look, I mean, hey, look, even guys, look, I'll ask you this.
Well, there's Sawdust Beef, who you should be subscribed to.
Yeah, and look, if you got channels like
there's Mark and Rebecca
that you've been subscribed to for a long time, and you're thinking that you're still subscribed, remember, YouTube will automatically unsubscribe you sometimes. So please, if you don't care, go back and just double check and make sure you're still subscribed.
Yeah, I think we've had that issue with ours too on Old Line.
There's D.A. Roberts, Ex Machina.
Look at there.
Hey, look, she even put in Robbie Raines, What's Really Out There.
Yeah.
Yeah, our page has had some, our channel's definitely had some unsubscribes to it.
Discover Sasquatch.
It seems like everybody's got that issue.
Yeah, everybody gets it. Like, we have people that say, hey, they were unsubscribed or they don't get notifications anymore. And actually, I found, I think it was Roger's channel. On Roger's channel, on Squatch and Holler, I was unsubscribed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the first ones to subscribe to it.
I think I was unsubscribed from Mark's channel, and I don't know how that happened.
It happens, y'all. What can I say? It's the Bigfoot genre, YouTube, government, whatever. I don't know how it works, but you get unsubscribed, so go back and make sure. But if you haven't subscribed to Roger's channel, please, by all means, Squatch and Holler. Roger, if you'll post it in the comments, I'll throw it up there. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, we've been at this for we managed to just like BS and wing it for
Yeah.
2 hours. Hey, Craig, real quick, what's your favorite barbecue?
You mean meat?
No,
What kind of
Craig.
meat?
Yes. Yes.
Pork.
Well, ribs or pulled pork or what?
I like ribs if they're done right.
Oh.
Yeah. I had some really good ones at that Hawaiian barbecue I went to last night.
A Hawaiian barbecue, you have really good ribs.
Yeah.
A Hawaii barbecue in Maryland.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There's a
Yeah,
Hawaiian
I know. I
barbecue.
was getting ready to say, you're up north, you're in Maryland, you're like, I have really good ribs at Hawaiian barbecue. Safe to say you don't know what you're talking about in the barbecue end of
I've had a lot of good. Hey, I've been down south and had
No.
ribs.
No.
I mean, I hate to say this, but when I picture somebody
Look,
from
I can just mute Jeff. See, if he's going to keep talking about Hawaiian barbecue ribs,
Oh.
we just mute him.
Hey, I hate to say this, but when I think about barbecue and they start talking about being like extreme up north,
Oh yeah.
I envision them like having one eye on their electric stove turned on high with a skewer roasting something over it. That's what
We actually have smokers.
They like dip it in pineapple juice and they're like, now it's Hawaiian. Oh my gosh.
No,
Team
we
White.
do know how to use smokers up there.
Hillary.
We know how to do that.
Hillary, just stop. Just stop. Craig, you don't like the damn white sauce on barbecue, do you?
I've never had it, but it doesn't really sound good.
Oh,
That's going to be great on chicken.
You got to try it, dude. It's
No,
It'd
you
be
don't.
good on bologna sandwich.
It's not even really sauce, to be honest, Craig.
oh my god.
It's a glorified salad dressing.
Oh no.
Yes, Missouri has good barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay, look, there's my man. Carolina has the best. That's right, Patrick. That's right.
I don't get to go down south enough to have any of the southern barbecue. I feel like I'm being cheated.
You just got invited to come down south. No complaint. Look, where's that mute button again? Look, there. Now you're mute. No complaining from you. See, we're going to end this show, and I'm just going to leave you on mute the whole time, Jeff, till we wrap it up.
Y'all probably don't have mutton, do you?
What, goat?
Sheep, yeah.
Sheep.
Yeah.
But, hey,
I
look,
thought it was goat. Is
Hey.
mutton sheep? I thought it was goat.
I don't never smoke like sheep, like mutton. But now, look, I'm all about some smoked goat.
Look, we made
Goat is good.
Larry actually had to get on here and type a comment. You know, he was just listening in the background, and we got so stupid that he actually had to bring his ass on here and comment.
No doubt. That's why. Hey, look, all I can tell you is at the meet and greet, we want Porch to be demonstrating some breakdancing.
Porch, if you want, next time you can get on here with us and we'd be a train wreck all together.
No doubt. Look, all I can tell you, Misty, you know, I know we're like herding ducklings, but we need a little guidance. Sometimes it's like drunk ducklings.
Now, last week we did a 4-hour show on nothing.
Pulled it off, though, didn't he?
I know.
I know it's true. All right, guys. Well, hold on. Where's the outro thing? See, Squirrel gets all this ready while I'm
hold
doing
on.
my mouth.
Hold on before we go.
No.
Y'all keep thinking about just keep Gary Spikes in your prayers.
Yeah.
All these other folks, Bobby, Christy, me. Look, y'all.
Yeah.
Just unreal. I mean, a lot of folks out there need some prayer, and you know, y'all just keep up doing what you're doing, and you know, we love all y'all.
Yep. And to everybody that was in chat today, I know we don't say it every time, but thank you so much. Y'all are our extended family.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing y'all. Love the comments in the chat. Appreciate it, y'all. And everybody, be nice to each other. Check out all the other channels and everything. Hope to see you at the meet and greet. Got a good show coming up next weekend. I actually have a guest, so you won't have to listen to us just ramble on and everything. Jeff, Craig, thank you for jumping on here and helping us
Don't
do this
forget to
today.
check us out on Tuesday. John Lamb's going to be on.
Yeah. Man, we don't have your thing up
It's
here.
Old Line Cryptids.
Old line.
Yeah.
Cryptids, yeah.
Yeah, Old Line Cryptids on YouTube. I'm saying we don't have the link up here for other
And
people.
look, for those of y'all that don't know, got Jeff, got Jerry, and they have adopted a new co-host, Mr. David Blaylock.
Blaylock. And Blaylock, we're all part of the same. We're all we run in the same group. We're all part of the same family.
We're all the same, but we're different branches. We're all going in different directions.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Mark and Larry because like I like came out and I was like, well, I come from Mark and Larry and kind of that's where I picked this all up from. And they probably get comments all the time where it's like, why did you let these idiots start their own show? But anyway, love y'all. Everybody, take care. Love each other, all that kind of stuff. Be nice to everybody. And we will see you next weekend, people. Take care. Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again. Hold on.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose.